All right, we're ready to move on. All right, moving on to 2E, privilege of the floor. Has anyone signed up for this evening? No. 3A. Sorry, hold on one second. Okay. 3A, personnel schedule. Upon recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approves the personnel schedule A as per the attached.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. I'll second. Any questions, comments?
Yeah, since we already have an Alyssa Smith on staff member, what are we going to call this Alyssa?
I'll see what her middle name is.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's K. Okay, you got it. I was trying.
Can you just give us an introduction to our new science?
I would love to. In fact, she is on the call currently teaching in Massachusetts. Ms. Stephanie Konis will be joining our team as the new living environment, formerly known as biology, a New York State teacher. We are very excited to have her. She's taught biology and biology for several years now in Massachusetts, and also AP environmental science. So that is an offering that we can put back in the schedule for kids, which is amazing. So welcome, Stephanie. We appreciate you being on the call tonight, and we are excited that you joined our team.
Welcome. And then my other question was just to explain appointment 2, which was Benji that we had moved forward in the last meeting. Can you just explain the amendment for that?
Yep. So Ben will be teaching more than just chemistry. He's certified as chemistry and general science as well. So since we go for just changing that tenure track area to science. That's the filling.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this time it's turn it over to Ms. Harvey for the budget hearing.
Okay, I'm going to call the annual BKW budget meeting to order. The Vice President have a statement to make? You have a statement to make?
Yes, yep,
You go ahead.
sure. So as you can see, Nat is unable to be here tonight. So on behalf of the Board of Education, I want to express our appreciation to the team. Her hard work and strong leadership in her first year serving as our superintendent has been amazing. She has been incredibly transparent throughout the budget process, including all of the budget workshops that we have had. To navigate a contingency budget along with rising costs has not been an easy task. She has worked incredibly hard and as a team with Mrs. King and our administration. They have brought a fresh outlook and creative ideas to the table for our 2025-2026 budget. As a board, we are proud of the budget reductions made that will not compromise our core values. However, it's important to note that this budget reflects difficult but necessary decisions that were made in order to address feedback we received in the past. With that being said, the board is so grateful for our faculty and staff for their commitment to our students and our district. Our school has always put students first, which was extremely evident this year with the growth and achievement that we have had with such a difficult year financially. We will continue to put students first in the upcoming year. Again, I want to thank Mrs. Payne and our administration for the budget that she's about to present for the 2025-2026 year. Thank you.
I'd like to have a motion to dispense with reading of the reading notice.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Second. Okay, Ms. Faye, would you like to do your presentation this time?
Absolutely. Yeah, they had a piece like that. Just feel like actually. Excellent. So if you've been following along with our budget workshops and our budget adoption presentation, very little is new here. There haven't been a lot of changes because we did most of that work during the budget workshops and during the time period around. So our proposed budget this year. Nothing? It's, okay. I think it's just a Google Meet up there. So the state aid revenues are approximately or in total of $11,591,886. Of course, this is still a proposed budget. A little over a week ago, the governor held a press conference saying that they had reached a point of agreement. That budget has not been finalized in New York State yet, so we do not have the final runs. So we still need to say that that is proposed under the governor until we receive such knowledge that it is not. The proposed budget would include a tax rate increase of 3.3%. That is within the cap. That total revenue budget or local revenue budget would be $11,437,442. The budget includes $1.2 million in fund balance use, $100,000 in reserves, $408,000 in local revenue sources that are non-tax sources, for a total budget of $24,737,328. And you will notice that that is a $1,051,934 budget decrease, operational budget decrease this year. That is a tremendous feat for us, considering that costs are going up exponentially, not just for school districts, but obviously for everyone. There we go. Wasn't it? To give you a breakdown of our three-part budget, our administrative budget is $1,444,568. That is down by approximately 1.3%. Actually, that's actually 1.3%, 36% from this current year. Our program component is $19,582,440. That is the largest part of any operational budget in any school district. Obviously, that covers all of the things that make school, our teachers, our books, things like that. That is also down 2.37% in this budget, as opposed to last year. Our capital component is $3,710,320. That is down 13.03% in this operational budget. I should say adopted operational budget. All of those figures combined leave us with that reduction, our budget reductions of a little over $1 million this year. We have a proposed addition. That is a shared school social worker. They're proposing sharing that social worker with Voorhees Hill Central School District. Position would provide students with critical supports both within school and outside of school. Also provides critical supports to our family. As we know, these types of supports are going to be available in Hill Towns. So it's even more important that we're able to provide this within the school district. Obviously, under budget constraints this year, we're not able to make that a 0.1 sort of position. But we saw a neighboring school district was also advertising for a part-time position, or would be advertising for a part-time position. So we decided to partner on it. We are also adding 2 new special education programs. Those will be located within the district. These are 12-1-1 educational programs, meaning 12 students, 1 teacher, 1 aide. We have exactly 12 in them at any given time. That just means you can have up to 12. The reasons for this is not because we think that the neighboring districts or wherever our out-of-district placements are doing a bad job. It's just that we think that our students probably can get what they need from our teachers within the district. We know that some of the problems that we're facing is there's a waiting list in many special education placements. A lot of placements are located an hour or more outside of district. So you can imagine an hour ride to school out of district added to a regular school run or your regular school day. An hour there and an hour back puts quite a lot on our kiddos. We know that our staff is highly student-centered and extremely competent. And we know that we want to promote inclusion within our school community to the extent that we can do so and adequately serve our students' needs. That is why we are introducing this program. Other proposed additions, adding in field trips. They were entirely eliminated in the contingency budget, so we are adding that back in. The SRO, we are offsetting that position with grant funding by around $20,000. We know that we need a vehicle. Our plow truck and our salter truck or maintenance truck badly needs to be replaced. The salter is not operational, not a big deal until it snows. Hopefully the snow is over, but we really do need to replace that. We know that we're adding a school social worker. It's a 0.5 shared position. Adding in $7,000 in graduation expenses, those will be restored. And students will have the ability to voice where they would like graduation. So those total proposed additions are about $138,000. Proposed reduction. We are reducing one full-time equivalent teacher in the high school. That is a social studies position and an institution. We are reducing by an elementary teacher due to attrition. 0.5 family for science, again, due to attrition. Our teacher has been kind enough to come back on a 0.5 basis. We are losing one FTE in science, that is restructuring due to attrition. 2 elementary teachers, those are the senior structuring assignments within the elementary. 2 FTE in special education. Restructuring assignments due to attrition. Sorry about that, we must not be moving enough. 1 FTE in guidance, again, restructuring due to attrition. Those total proposed reductions equivalent or equate to $923,000. Tasking, some might be asking, where are the other? Let me go back, because I think that was a question. So some might be saying, well, that's not $1 million, right? The $1 million, the rest of the funds for the $1 million came from Ms. King and I going through the budget line by line, looking at the actual expenses this year, what we thought we could get away with doing less with next year and still maintaining program. We went through the budget hours and hours and hours and for days and days on end until we got down to a number that we felt we could support. Just hearing feedback from the community. So we went through the budget line by line to try and figure out what maybe we didn't need to spend so much on next year. As we look at the tax increases by town with a 3.3 tax levy increase per $100,000 house, I decided to keep it at that because you can do a pretty simple math equation based on the assessed value of your house. It is not, I bought my house for $550,000, so I have to pay taxes on all of that. You need to look at your assessment within your tax bill, and that'll tell you what the taxes, the county is deeming, or the town, I should say, is deeming your house being assessed at a per assessment. So it is $98.20 per 100,000 in burn, $107.24 per 100,000 in Knox. 42.07 in Westerlo, 83.17 in Middleburg, 82.33 in Wright, 97.01 in Rensselaerville, and in Scotland, sorry, I didn't add that on the presentation last time, but in Scotland is 58. That is per year. If we were to go to a contingency budget, just doing some quick math on the amount that we would need to reduce, we're talking about an additional FTE, potentially in high school humanities, reduction of supply lines to reflect the elimination of programming therein, no SRO, no field trips, no social worker addition, no funds for graduation, no replacement vehicle, and potentially a reduction of an FTE custodial or maintenance. When do you vote? Tuesday, May 20th. That is 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. right here in the elementary cafeteria. After folks come to vote, we have an exit survey that folks will be able to take. That just helps to inform my budget process moving forward. I want to hear from the community. I've said that from the beginning. And we will have promos out in the lobby for folks to take that survey. If you do not have time to take that survey, we have a QR code. You can scan it with your phone and just save the page in your phone for later. And you can take the survey at your leisure. It is anonymous. Do not have names attached to the survey in any way. It asks for some simple demographic information. Are you a parent? Are you a former parent? Are you a former graduate? Things like that, so we can kind of see what the opinion is based on the demographic. For those of you who do not like technology, completely understand your thoughts. We both have paper copies as well. And if you don't feel comfortable seeing it here, you can bring it home, see it, and then just either mail it or bring it back in trust. Questions?
Can we ask questions?
Yeah.
When you say restructuring, some of these, are they do nutrition? Are they being restructured within the facility? Like the guidance council, are they being restructured, reclassified in different titles within the facility, or are they?
They're being restructured within the facility.
Okay.
And changing roles. We obviously realized we needed a social worker based on student. So we wanted to add that.
Okay, so like the guidance counselor is being restructured physically into a different role within the facility, so not really cutting out. Okay.
But like social studies is due to retirement. Right?
Yes,
And then we're restructuring that department
right.
to cover those classes.
Yes. So we are not reducing classes or programming based on things like social studies, retirements, things like that. And that is very important. It could be something like asking a teacher if they would like to teach 6 class. To me, that's multi-beneficial, where we know that we have highly competent staff here. We know that we want to provide them with the opportunity to teach those courses that they love. Our students are familiar with them. So we are offering teachers to take on additional courses throughout their day. Again, that's completely voluntary on the part of the teacher. It's not something we were to say, you have to get another class.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Any other questions? Yes. Yes. Good.
With regard to the special education teachers, so they're going to be restructured to other assignments. So if they have a specific special within the new programs coming in, are they being restructured and reclassified into that
Yes.
program? Or
They'll be filling those programs.
so we're not physically losing those educators that they move to those programs.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Another really great question. And I was not clear on that, so I appreciate you asking that.
Yeah, no, I wasn't clear either, but when I saw the structure, okay.
Anything? I appreciate the questions. Thanks.
Okay, we have 2 open board seats this time around. We have, candidates and Matt Tedeschi, like this one, and Rebecca Miller. Would you like to say a couple words?
You've heard a lot from me in the last 6 years. It's been an honor to serve on the board for the last 6 years. Moving forward, my commitment to the community and the school remains steadfast. I want to get emotional. I mean, I know you'd be shocked if I tried. I never did. This place means a ton to me. So I'm very thankful for the opportunity to serve another term.
Good, well, thank you. Okay, so I think now, it's your turn.
I just want to get I wish to brought over an administrative team for the work for our budget. I just need a motion to adjourn the meeting to reconvene on Tuesday, May 20th at 7 a.m.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Um,